Hi there, it's Michelle here. I hope you're doing really well today. Hopefully, you can hear me. I've been using this new thing called Live Producer and I can never tell if it's working. Okay, so hopefully, you can hear me. Um, welcome. It's 1 o'clock here in Cincinnati, Ohio. We are on the Eastern Standard Time, and I know a lot of people are in all different time zones. But I wanted to get started. I wanted to talk a little bit about our conversation from last week, and I'll describe that. And then I want to do another energy healing session if you're interested, because we've been doing these now consistently for maybe 3 or 4 or 5 weeks, and hopefully they're helping. I'm hoping they are. Let me know in the chat if they're helping. If they're not helping anyone, I don't need we don't need to do them. But I feel like the response has been good, so we'll keep on doing it if they have value. Okay, if you're here and you can hear me, please say hello in the chat so I feel more confident that this is working. And I think I can see the chat. As soon as I get a hi, I can hear you, I'll get started. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Is this working? Usually I have one of my daughters with me and she gives me a thumbs up that it's working, but I am flying solo today. If you could just type in the chat that you can see me. Oh, good. Thank you, Vibe. Thank you so much. I got a thumbs up. Awesome. I'm going to start then. Okay, so last week, if you didn't see last week's session, don't worry. You can go back in this group and you can check it out. But what we talked about is that we are empaths and sensitives, and we are the healers of the world, the helpers of the world, the light workers of the world. And that comes in many different forms. Like, the beauty of that is that you pick. You pick if that look what that looks like. For some people, it's as simple as, like, for today, for me, the helper I've been is helping my own children with their struggles today. That's the kind of helper, light worker, healer I was today. And that's more than enough. That's awesome. And then there's nurses and doctors and people who communicate with animals and mediums and psychics and I think of everything. Physical therapists, teachers, all forms of helping in the world, serving people, uplifting people, the earth, animals of the earth. Like, just so last week, what I did was I wanted you to try on for size the idea that you're a healer, helper, light worker. I just wanted you to try it on like a new jacket, and I wanted you to try it on and pretend like that's you. I wanted you to step into it. Feel what it would feel like if that was true. Now, for some of you, you said this to me. Yeah, it's true. I feel it. I already know it, Michelle. I already know it. Awesome. That's awesome. Then for some other people, it was like, I suspect that I'm this, but I'm wobbly. I'm on the fence. And what I asked of you last week is, like, hop off the fence for the week and just step into it and just say to yourself, well, if it's true that I'm a healer, helper, light worker, what would that look like? And we even talked about it a little bit in our group about what that would look like. And we had all different kinds of answers. Again, how do you know what form you want your healer, helper, light worker self to? What does that look like? It's up to you. And what I did, because you know how well, at least in the beginning, I just didn't know what form I wanted that to take. So what I did was I followed my excitement. I just followed anything that was interesting to me. And I'm going to be really boring and honest with you right now. The things back then that I had in front of me were empty the dishwasher, walk the dog, start making dinner. Like, I did not have much available to me. I had, you know what I mean? If there were other things, I couldn't see them. Like, those were the only things I could see in my life. So then I had to pick, like, for me, it was walk the dog, because that, out of the three of those, I mean, that was little, I mean, I'm sure I looked at that and I was a little depressed. Like, really? Is this all I have? But honestly, I stuck with it and I chose walk the dog first. And I don't know what I chose next. I don't like cooking dinner or emptying the dishwasher, but I probably chose cooking dinner, making a mess, and then cleaning up. Now, even though I kind of probably poo pooed myself about really, is that all you have? I stuck with that. And then I started to notice other things in the world, and I thought, well, that sounds exciting. That sounds interesting. And I would choose those things. I would actually see them and choose them because I had been practicing my method of choosing things that were interesting and exciting to me. Does that make sense? So the things that at first were not that interesting or exciting, but it trained me to have to be awake to things that were exciting to me. Is that making sense, you guys? Say yes or no to that. So if you're at the beginning stages of following your excitement and stepping on the path of your life purpose, let me rephrase that. The path of your life purpose, if you're wondering that, is to do things that are interesting and exciting. That will beep, 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 start to move you in the direction you're supposed to be going. Does that make sense? Thank you, Samantha, for saying yes. Hi, everybody else. Okay, so that's step one. Okay, I probably went off the rails there, but hopefully it's helping in some way. What I want to talk about today now is speaking more about you're meant for more. So let's get into this again. And then we're going to do a healing session. Do you have that feeling inside of you like, I know there's something else for me to learn, to do, to be? Ask yourself that question right now. Is there something? Do you get that feeling inside of you that there's more for you to do? Yes or no? Type it in the chat. Samantha says yes. Julie, yes. Rachel, good to see you. Yes. Magda, yes. Samantha, yes. Looking into my birth chart. Cool. Magda, you're at the very beginning stages of this. Awesome. So you're really going to pay attention to following your interest, following things that are interesting to you and exciting to you. Okay, awesome. That feeling inside of you, what I'd like to do right now is focus on that feeling. So if you're not driving a car, I want you to close your eyes. Hi, Kay, Carol. Yes, 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 yes. I got lots of yeses. Awesome. Okay, close your eyes. And I'm going to prompt you. I'm going to do a few things right here, and then I'm going to prompt you maybe with a question or two, and I just want you to allow yourself to be calm and let the ideas float in and out and notice whatever your body does. No judging. We're just going to notice. Okay, I want you to drop into your heart space. Your heart space is right at your chest. You can touch your chest area if you need to get your awareness there. If you take a breath into your chest, feel your chest expand. That'll help get your awareness there. Drop into your heart space. And I'm going to help you drop into that space a little bit more. Think about someone you love. Think about your pet. Think about how much our pets love us unconditionally. Feel that feeling of unconditional love. Doesn't that drop you down to your heart space? Think about a baby. Think about beautiful flowers. Let yourself just open up to those feelings, and that'll help drop you into your heart space. Okay. So you can either feel that feeling in your heart space, or if you're new to this, you might not feel it much. You might feel calm here. You might cry. You might feel nervous. Don't judge any of it. Just notice that when you sit in your heart space, just notice whatever is coming up. And all of it's just fine. Okay. So you're right there in your heart space. And allow that feeling of, I'm meant to do more. I'm meant to experience more in this lifetime. Allow those thoughts and feelings to be in your heart space. Notice what that feeling feels like. And I'm going to add a question to that now. And I want you to ask yourself this question. I wonder, stick with me. I wonder what my more looks like. Just stay with me. Don't go drifting off for answers. Just stay with me. We're going to have the answers come to us. I wonder what my more looks like. And you're going to stay here with me. Things are going to come to us. We're not flying after them today. And allow any images to come to you now. Any feelings to come to you now. Don't judge them. Don't get too wrapped up in them. Just let them float in like a cloud. I wonder what my more looks like. And now open yourself up. Allow yourself to feel whatever wants to come through. Allow the images, the thoughts, anything audible. Maybe you just have a knowing now of what that would look like. Just be soft with it. Don't attach everything to it. Just be soft with it right now. Give it room to breathe. I'm going to do it one more time. I wonder what my more looks like. And maybe you have no images or thoughts coming to you. If the space is blank, that's beautiful too. And then we're going to ask another question together. I wonder what would be the next interesting thing for me to experience. I wonder what the next interesting thing for me to experience is. Stay right with me. Stay in that heart space. Everything comes to you. And then I want you to pull in your beliefs or let those swell inside of you. If you believe in God, if you believe in the universe, source, loved ones and spirits, angels, spirit guides, whatever you believe, I want you to call them into you right now if you want. If you're not comfortable with that, let it go. So I believe there's you who creates, and then we have this non-physical support that creates with us. And let's call that in. And whatever you believe is perfect, and let that flow through you or to you. And I'll use the word universe for this, but you fill in any word you want. Or life. Maybe the word is life. So, universe, life, God, whatever you believe in, give me an image, give me a sign, send us in the right direction. And just notice how that feels to you. And this last question. And if God, the universe, or source was going to give you a sign, do you have an inkling of what your next step is, what your meant for more would look like? Do you have an idea of what the next interesting thing would be for you to experience? Do you have any idea? If you don't, that's perfectly fine. And if you do, just notice it. Bring it into your awareness now. I want you to, if you can see pictures, bring a picture of it in your mind's eye. And then whenever you're ready, open your eyes. Okay, how was that for you? Did anything come to you? Did any images, did any emotions come to you? There's no judgment. You could maybe have been a blank slate, maybe a lot of emotions came up, or anything in between. There's no wrong answers. Type it in the chat. 2 reasons why I want you to type it in. 3 reasons maybe. Number one, once you have a non-physical experience and you bring it into the physical, like you're typing it, you're training yourself. That's manifesting, right? To bring non-physical into the physical. You're training yourself to manifest. That's a good thing. Why else is it good? Number two, I want to know. I'm really interested in what's coming up for you, and I can help you, or maybe I can help you if I can. Number three, when you share what's going on in your heart and you share it with people, it is so healing and helpful for others. And then when you start to share what's in your heart and realize it's helpful for others, that there's a big sense of fulfillment in that. Okay, Marcia says, always feel like there is something just on the other side of what I'm doing. That's fascinating. I feel it, Marcia. I feel it. Carol says, tears. Beautiful. Magda says, a feeling of peace. Awesome. Kay says, I felt a good, overwhelming feeling of fullness, happiness, growth. Beautiful, Kay. Again, there's no judgment in any of this. I just think that's beautiful. Rosalie says, images of Wonder Woman. Okay, Rosalie, I have those too. Please PM me. There's just something about you guys, we are empaths and sensitives, and we dumb it down a lot, or we're quiet about it, or we're humble or something. And if I can help empaths and sensitives get very balanced in their life and clear, there's so much. You guys, we have so many abilities that I want to scream to the rooftops like what you're capable of. So Rosalie, I understand that Wonder Woman image. Okay. Marsha said it also felt very open and warm. Also felt mentorship, positive vibes for others. Beautiful. Rachel said, I got the word spider web come through. Rachel, does that mean anything to you? I've got some things that are popping in my head about it, but I'd love to know what it means to you. Vicky says, I saw a lock on a pouch being opened with a key. Fascinating. Vicky, I think you could go into that even more and sit with that and be shown a lot more images. I think that's fascinating. Okay. Any other thoughts, images that you want to share? I'll be happy to tap in if I can. Oh, Yvette, I'm sorry. I think I missed that one. Eagles soaring over mountains. I have been 2 years ago. Sacred land of indigenous tribes. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, Rachel, no idea about the spider webs? Do you mind if I tap in? Rachel, we have been reading you like for a week now. Okay. First thing I get is connections, deep connections. And I see you walking like the spider on the spider web, walking this way, and then you want to turn this way. And I feel like from where you're standing now, you're seeing how things are connected more than you ever have. You're seeing you're connecting the dots more and more now. How do I want to say this? You're perspective is changing. How you saw things once, and I feel like it's evolving now. Like you're seeing the greater picture, you're seeing more connections now, is what I'm getting on that. Amy says, my more is to help others, but going through it myself right now. Yeah. So, okay, that's part two. So, thank you, Amy. Perfect timing. Let's talk about that. How many? I've been talking to a lot of people lately because I have my coaching program will be open in September. And so I've been talking with people lately. And here's the truth: if you have the feeling that you want to help people, you want to learn how to help people, you have this in you that you want to do something with this beautiful gift of being an empath, but you also have healing to do yourself. Is that true? Yes or no? Type it in the chat for me. So I want to talk about the truth is there are times when I have to pause the button on my healing practice and I have to just work on myself or help people in my own family. Like, because my own life falls apart a little bit and I have to put the brakes on and take care of myself and my family. Most of the time that doesn't happen anymore. Most of the time I can manage both, but I stay awake to the fact that that is the truth for us. That there's times when we need to heal ourselves and times when we can be the healer. It's just the way it is. But I used to have the mindset of this: I'm not healed enough to help others. I'm not healed enough to help others. And what I ended up doing was that was a sabotage. That was a way I was blocking myself because I was so afraid to become the healer that I really wanted to be. Does that make sense? So what the mind shift is that, yes, I got a lot of yeses. Awesome. So the mindset shift that I want you to make is we're always working on ourselves while we're learning how to help others. Like that's what I have in my program. Healing ourselves while we're healing others. Does that make sense? I think it's true. I don't think we're ever fully healed. I could be wrong. I think we always have things to work on if we're human beings participating in the world. I think we always are going to have issues to work on. And then I'm going to say something totally contradictory now. We are whole and complete just the way we are also. So feel that. We are whole and complete just the way we are. That truth right there is very grounding and centering. Does that make sense? Okay, I know I feel like I'm going on and on and on. And I hope on and on and on is helping you. Okay, there was one thing here. Yes, thanks for all the yeses. I appreciate it. Samantha says, but our pain is how we heal. So I think that's a fascinating statement, Samantha. Our pain is how we heal. I'm going to challenge you and say there's other ways to heal. How about when I do something interesting, that's also how I heal myself. When I work with someone else and help them heal, that's also how I heal myself. Pain is one way maybe we heal ourselves. It is not the only way. And if you have the mindset that that's the only way, then I am doing you a great service by expanding what's true for you. Think about it. If someone believes pain is how we heal, well, they're probably going to, we all in our DNA, in our survival parts of us, avoid pain at all costs, right? We are wired this way. All humans, right? Avoid pain as much as we can. So we want to go like this. How about everything we do in our lives helps us heal? Every day we get better and better. Every movie we watch and enjoy heals us. Every time we fall down is healing. Every time we lift others up and rise up together, that's healing. Let's let it all be healing. Everything we do is healing. Let's all adopt that one. Not even try it on for size. I'm telling you, that's one we all need to adopt. And it is very true. When I'm working on myself always, like I know you are, or you're trying to. But when I work with in my groups and in my private clients, it heals me too. I get just as much healing from helping someone as they do. Maybe at a different level, but it's very healing for me also. Okay, I hope that was helpful. I feel like I had notes. I was going to stay on track, but I went all over the place. But I want to serve you, the people who are here asking questions. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Carol. Okay, I always felt like because I struggle to heal myself that I will not be enough to heal others. So, Kay, let's talk about this. These are so, if you guys have any questions right now, put them in the chat. Let's have a real conversation right now about healing and being a healer and your healing. Like, let's talk about it. Okay, maybe the first thing I want to ask any of you is do you heal yourself or do you get help healing yourself? Step one. I, for many years, just stayed in my own home, worked on myself. That there was this much benefit to it, or maybe this much benefit because I didn't understand healing like I do now. Then I started to get help for myself in different modalities, and I grew exponentially, or I healed exponentially. I don't know which one it is. I feel like we're all whole and complete on the inside with some cloud cover around us based on our lives and living and conditioning. And all healing does is just take the clouds away so that you who was always shining gets to shine now. Does that make sense? So I feel like once I got help from others, they helped me lift the cloud cover and my true self or my shining self or my healed self could shine through. But it was always there. And that's true for all of us. We're already whole and complete. We might just have some cloud cover, like not enough, traumas, what our parents told us, what we've decided to believe about ourselves. All that stands in the way from what's already shining. And I feel like I'm just really good at helping people clear the cloud cover. I can't always do it by myself. I have to get help. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay, Kay said, I tried on my own, didn't have much success. I now have gotten help from others and have had more progress, but still struggle to fully heal myself. Okay, awesome. So you get the idea already of like working with others is helpful. Carol says, beautiful analogy. Thank you, Carol. Thanks. Thank you. Lindy says, worked on self at home. However, I'm missing the spiritual energy of people now. I don't necessarily miss the hugs. Oh, I don't necessarily miss the hugs. Explain that, Lindy. You don't like people touching you, or you do miss it? Let me know. And the spiritual energy is true in a group. Like, do you guys think this is spiritual, what we're doing now? Yes or no? I'd love to know. I want the real definition of what's spiritual means. I don't have it with me right now. Us looking inside of ourselves, having these real honest conversations is spiritual for me. Does that make sense? So, or you could call it healing. To me, they're all in the same category. Samantha says, same, I am Catholic, so it was difficult. Yeah, I grew up Catholic too. I totally can relate to that. I get it. Dixie says, oh my God, yes. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so how do I want to leave this? Oh, do you guys have any questions? Any questions? I'd love to answer them. Type them in the chat if you have them, and I'm happy to answer them. So I'll try to make this full circle. I wanted you to tap into that feeling of met for more. I wanted you to call on whatever you believe in. I wanted you to feel that feeling first and expand it. Then I wanted you to call on whatever you believe in, God, the universe, source. If you don't believe in any of that, that's okay. Loved ones and spirits. Just call on that supportive, loving energy and pull and feel that too, along with your own awesomeness. I wanted you to feel that feeling of whole and complete. I wanted to talk about healing too, and we all have cloud cover, but underneath it all, we are awesome, whole and complete people. And we're extra special because we're empaths. And so we have this in our hearts and our DNA to be healers and light workers. And if you've got that in your heart, I want to keep reminding you of that and to let yourself feel it and be open to it and awake to it. And if you have any interest in healing or talking about becoming a healer, please reach out to me or maybe raise your hand in the chat or say me, and I'd be happy to talk to you about it if you're interested. Um, okay, let's see if there's any questions here, and then we will wrap it up. Okay, Lindy, I do enjoy hugs only from certain folks, but I miss the energy of others who fill my tank. I get it. I get that. Okay. Okay, Dixie says you're bringing this gathering is healing me. Awesome. I even forgot that this is healing, right? Yeah, this is a healing session. Renee says I've been safe in the cloud cover. There's a fear to be seen and shine, but I'm longing to. I've always wanted to teach as a social worker or write a book about my overcoming a painful childhood. I called God into this healing, so I'm hopeful that He will guide me in this. Thank you for this. Beautiful, Renee. You gave me chills. Beautiful. Anything I want to say about that? Can anybody relate to how Renee feels like I'm afraid to be seen? I'm afraid to shine. I'm afraid to fly above the radar. Anybody? That was my biggest thing. That was my biggest thing. That fear alone will keep you where you are. And then you have the choice. You have the choice to stay there, or you have the choice to release the fear and expand. I believe being a human being on earth, we want to grow and expand. And I think that's where that feeling of wanting more or knowing there's more for you, that's that tug in you of wanting to expand as a human being, as a healer, as your soul wants to expand. And that's that feeling of, I know there's more for me to do. Okay, I got a lot of yeses. Good. Interested. Yes. Thank you, Carol. And everybody. Teresa, Yvette, thank you. Dixie, absolutely. I'm not afraid anymore. Thank you. Awesome. Um, I think that's it for today, everybody. Thank you for being here. I hope this was healing. It kind of went, I had plans for it to go like this, and it kind of went like this, didn't it? And that's okay. So please, if you want to talk about healing or becoming a healer, again, I'm working with a group of people starting in September. I'm talking to people privately first before I open the doors to it. So if you have any interest, just let me know in the chat. You'll say yes, please, interested, or raise your hand, whatever you want, or Michelle PM me. Just give me some signal in the chat, and I will make sure that I reach out to you. Okay, I hope this was helpful. Thanks again. Have a great day. Bye.